Hello, everyone. Welcome to the finals of the Localhost MSS here in Lakewood, Colorado. I'm happy to. What? Who's on the left? Zach. All right, we are going to be waiting for Zach versus Brett for the finals. We saw Brett's team in the previous round. I'd like to say thank you to all of those who are watching the stream today instead of the Super Bowl. My co-commentator Ace decided to go and play in the Premier Challenge that is following this event here. And we'll see, based on teams, what kind of matchup we're looking for this mid-season showdown. Well, I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to crack through Durulodon, is my guess. Excadrill is a good one, but it's been a little bit of trouble. There's a lot of counters to Excadrill nowadays. That Seismitoad from the previous round did quite a number, but loses to Freeze Dry, so it's a little bit tough. I think I'm kind of stumped. Weather control is a little bit tough. All right, we should be getting underway pretty soon. If you guys have any questions about events or anything in the future, here we go. So we see Excadrill, Braviary, Gothitelle, Whimsicott, Heat Rotom, and Hydreigon on Zach's side. I like that mix-up. It's a good variety. I don't think... Is there a single shared Pokemon among this teams? Oh, the Whimsicott. We'll see. Whimsicott is a fun Pokemon, but it is extremely frail. You try to... It dies to poison almost instantly. So you gotta watch out for that. I wonder what we're gonna see for a lead from Brett. I've seen every round that I've seen from him, he has led Whimsicott, Durulodon. So we'll see how he fares against both of these. I'm interested to see how this goes. All right. Hopefully we'll get started soon. We'll see. Compare the trainer cards to see which one is better, in my opinion. It's a very opinionated-based decision. And here we go. This is the beginning of the finals. All right, Zach and Brett. I think this is just kind of an even matchup. Both of them are kind of have their own little thing. I like the Pinchrin t-shirt. I don't think it's a choice that most people pick, and it's very nice. I enjoy it a lot. And there's that Whimsicott Durulodon lead. I was saying that it was going to happen every turn, and there is Heat Rotom and Gothorita. Oh no, it's Gothitelle. Sorry about that. Gothitelle for to counteract that, and we're gonna see who all makes it for this last round here. We're gonna see how this goes. All right, there's some the weird family cheering in the crowd. If you look careful in the details, sometimes you can see like Pokemon actually kind of peeking out. It's not like a little Grookie icon in the crowd. You gotta watch out for those. They're pretty cool. Durulodon is gonna be Dynamaxed for Brett's side almost immediately. Actually, immediately for the first turn. Let's see what happens in return for Zach, who chooses not. Oh no, he does choose Dynamax. I wonder if it's going to be the Oven or Gothitelle it's going to be. I would like to see the conventional Oven take quite a bit of... Ooh. Alright, it is conventional. I wonder what it's going to do as a... I don't typically see that it Dynamaxed, so I'm very intrigued. Here's Safeguard, trying to prevent any status going on. And here's the Max Darkness coming from onto the Gothitelle. Almost picking up the knockout. It's 16 health left. Very close. My Spadef drop is going to be big. But let's see what what the Gothitelle and things do in return. Here's the Max Flare coming in. Gonna do quite a bit, about 2/3 to that Durulodon. What is that? Is that Gothitelle going to go for a Trick Room? It is, leaving it a very difficult uphill battle for Brett. He was hopefully hoping, I think Brett was hoping to get that knockout with Max Darkness on Gothitelle, but no success at all. We'll see how all of this plays out. The Rotom Heat gets to go, is one of the first Pokemon to go first, so I'll be interested to see. Gothitelle is a very versatile Pokemon in this situation, and now being able to do a lot, even though it's at a low health percentage. That Whimsicott might be able to get, ooh, Max Guard coming out from Durulodon, maybe trying to protect itself from any damage, and there's a switcheroo onto the Rotom. It's gonna give it an eject button. And is it gonna, what's gonna happen here on the Psychic? It's gonna double into there. Ooh, Whimsicott takes about half, from a little under half. Max Flare doesn't go, and Max Flare, ooh, that's a little bit iffy for Max Flare. Doesn't connect because of that Max Guard. So the thing is that Gothitelle is still gonna go first. Now what's gonna happen here? Psychic once again on to the Whimsicott. And this time it's gonna actually pick up the KO. Probably a low roll on the previous turn. And we're gonna see a Max Flare for the double knockout. And all 30 turns of the Dynamax for Zach are now gone. But you're able to knock out two of Brett's Pokemon. It's a good trade overall for Zach. And we'll see what the last two Pokemon, Jellicent as one of the other Pokemon, and Vanillix. And the Hail is gonna get set up right here. Not gonna take it into effect in terms of damage until next turn. Keeping that Gothitelle still thriving in this Trick Room. And Rotom Heat is pretty comfortable from where it is. It has the electricity to handle that Jellicent. It has the overheat to handle that Vanillix. It has a pretty good capability in terms of trying to actually survive. I think Zach's in a great position is basically the gist of it. And Trick Room still has 2 turns, so Brett is gonna have a hard time stalling it, unfortunately. So there's 2 turns. Hail is gonna go down for 5. Are we gonna see a double Protect this turn to try to get a knockout on Gothitelle? Oh, Protect coming from Rotom Heat, actually. As we're gonna see a Psychic come out on to that. Not gonna do much on that Jellicent, but decent amount. Shadow Ball, still good. And keep it alive. Blizzard has 100% accuracy in this Hail, so it's good for Brett, but Rotom has kept itself safe right now, which is very advantageous for Zach. He just needs to get out. He thinks it's fast enough to get out of Trick Room, likely against these 2 Pokemon. Resists that Blizzard from the road. Gets rid of that Blizzard. Resist that Blizzard. What's gonna come in? It's Braviary. It's a fast Pokemon, so it's not gonna do very well in Trick Room, unfortunately. But there's only one more turn of Trick Room, which means that Vanillix Vanillix may be able to Blizzard, but that Braviary can probably protect and keep itself safe for that 1 turn between Trick Room for end to end. There it is, and there's the Protect on Braviary. And Shadow Ball coming in to that Rotom Heat. How much is that going to do? Not even half. And that's an eject button on that Rotom Heat. Free switch into whatever he wants. Take this Blizzard that's likely coming from that Vanillix. And it's Whimsicott. Whimsicott is going to take the field. Blizzard going to come out and going to hit that Whimsicott pretty hard. And we know that it doesn't have an eject button, so it's probably Focus Sash. And it is. Hail's going to end up taking out, which is a free switch in for anything that Zach wants right now. Likely that Rotom Heat now that it's out of Trick Room. I don't know. This battle could go either way depending on what happens. Right now, I think Zach has the advantage as it is that Rotom Heat is faster than both Jellicent and Vanillix. Eject button. The eject button was switched to Rude, which will be interesting. That came, but it didn't. It actually helped Zach rather than hurt him. I believe this for this battle in specific, it allowed him to shrug off less damage from a Blizzard. So we'll see how that how the Braviary does. It probably has close combat to take out that Vanillix, but I'm not sure what it'll have to take on the Jellicent. Strength Sap is going to actually hurt Braviary. Oh, the Vanillix is actually the fastest thing on the field, and it's going to keep... Braviary's going to live on 9 health, but the freeze on Rotom Heat, is that going to be... Oh, no! And the conventional oven is now frozen. The Vanillix living on 1 HP because it has its own Focus Sash. Oh my goodness, this is a crazy turn of events, as that Blizzard freeze is going to change almost anything. And a Scald coming. If the Rotom can live, oh no, it doesn't. The freeze really mattering in the turn order here. And the double KO due to that Blizzard freeze, which means Brett is going to take game 1. That's wild. I can't believe that freeze was everything. Unfortunate for Zach. That's about... Pokemon is mostly skill, but there is that element of luck that can ruin you. So, next round, next game is going to be very interesting. And we'll see what the team, when we get to Team Builder. I have to say that Vanillix is an interesting speed tier. Was not expecting that Blizzard. I think that eject button did not work. Looks like the eject button did not work out well for Zach here, because the Vanillix took that into it was big advantage for Brett, since Zach was forced to switch out and it had to take a full-on Blizzard and then hail damage, so giving free KO in the back while the Whim couldn't do anything. All right, and we're at team preview once again. And how is Zach going to combat this combo between Whim, Duraludon, and Vanillix? Very strange combo. That the Vanillix is a strange Pokemon to put in that combo, but it does fill in some holes that for weakness-wise. So I've seen it a lot, and with that Focus Sash, it's hanging on quite a bit. We're going to see what Zach has to combat it. That Gothitelle was able to hold off at the Trick Room and put himself in a good advantage, but that freeze, so unfortunate. I'm surprised. He must have gone for a something like a Thunderbolt in order to escape. Let's get that freeze. Oh, unfortunate. All right. We should be going into game 2 pretty soon, everyone, but... This decision is very important, as it decides who will win and who will get second place. And here's game 2. Both of them, Zach and Brett, getting ready. We're about to see. Both have filled their decks, as it looks like, based on the card. I've yet to get that. I'm trying to get my living decks at the moment. And we see the same lead. Whimsicott Duraludon. Must be a formula of some sort. And there's Whimsicott Excadrill in return. Good matchup overall. Let's see how well... I'm assuming that Duraludon is going to get Dynamaxed right now. And there it is. Brett is going to go for the Dynamax on that Duraludon. And it seems like it's the fastest thing in the field. Or Zach did not Dynamax his Excadrill. Typically those Excadrills are a bit faster. So we'll see how speed tiers are actually coming out here. Might be a slower Excadrill. And there is no Dynamax from that. So we can see, is Zach going to match Tailwind here? No, he's not. Max Steel Spike right into the other Whimsicott. What did the other Whimsicott go for? What did he go for? This is an interesting... It must have gone for like a Moonblast or something. Some attacking move. Maybe to get that Moonblast. Gonna do some chip damage, maybe? Interesting. Choosing to go for the Whimsicott here and getting the special attack drop overall. And there's the eject button. That's actually going to help a lot. Get it may provide some switching in, but that Excadrill is actually the last in the turn order, which is super strange to think about. And we're going to see the Vanillix come back in. Going to set that Hail. I'm going to do some chip and probably take out the Whimsicott at the end of the turn. And that Iron Head going to go reading the Vanillix switch in and is going to take all of it and take 1 damage. However, the Whimsicott is going to go down on this turn. So we'll see how this plays out now with Excadrill getting chipped a little bit too. Which means if it had a Focus Sash, it's going to be in a little bit of trouble next turn. All right. We're getting a little bit of excitement over at the PC right now. We'll see how they're going into round 2, actually. Very small number of people over there. I myself have maxed out on PCs, but I cannot seem to get points in mid-seasons, unfortunately, so I'm struggling as a player. And Rotom Heat coming in, it's now safe to do whatever it pleases with this, as Vanillix does not like to see the Rotom Heat up front. Rotom still hasn't gotten... still can't get the KO on that Duraludon. However, that Hail could get rid of with the Sun. Also, the Excadrill has the potential to do a lot of damage as well. And we're seeing a Dynamax. Will it be the Rotom or the Excadrill? And likely the Oven? Yeah, once again, the conventional Oven is up in terms of doing damage. So we'll see how what does the Rotom do to combat. Excadrill protecting in this turn to wait out the Dynamax on this Blizzard. Not going to be doing much to that Rotom. Taking about only 30 health. Oh my god, once again the freeze. What in the world is happening with the RNG coming from this blizzarding Rotom? And there's the attack drop, not really mattering for it, but is it going to be able to get out of this freeze? Is the real big trouble. Getting that twice is absurd. Okay, used a fire move, which was able to get that freeze out. Luckily for Brett. I mean for Zach. Oh my goodness. I can't believe the 2 freezes off of Blizzard in these 2 games. That's absurd. Vanillix going down, taking the first KO. And I think we're going to see it's going to be an interesting... Whimsicott could come back in, but Jellicent actually is going to be the option. This is interesting because the Brett has 1 more turn Dynamax with Duraludon, while Zach has 2. So it all comes down. Tailwind is still up for Zach, which is a little bit of a Tailwind, which is unfortunate for Zach, because it really gets the speed tiers messed up for these clashing. They're both clashing, but the Sun is up, but Jellicent can't do too much. And I think if Rotom can live and attack, then it'll probably be able to make it to the next oh, Max Wormwind coming from the Duraludon. Is that going to be able to pick up the KO? No, not quite. The Tailwind, though, we could see a double right here. And the Max lowering the attack of the Excadrill is probably very big. And the Excadrill actually opts to go to Swords Dance to cancel out those attack drops. and so that it can keep going on the next couple turns. And then we're going to see a Scald coming from that Jellison, probably going to pick up the KO, unfortunately. However, Dynamax for Red is over, and it'll be Excadrill versus Excadrill and whatever Zach has in the back versus the Jellicent, Whim, and Durulodon combo. It's good to know without Tailwind here that Jellicent is still slower than Excadrill, which could manipulate some things. Overall, might have been a better choice the last turn to go for put in Braviary instead of Excadrill and try to get your max, try to get some attack boosts from the Max Dragon. And Excadrill is opting for Protect this turn, and we're gonna see a Braviary is a double Protect, gonna stall out that Tailwind, which is gonna be interesting. Draco Meteor coming from Durulodon onto the Braviary, and Scald trying to kill off that Braviary. I guess it's a big threat. But the Tailwind should just ended, which means there's a little bit of trouble for Brett right now, as you can't Strength Sap the Braviary, but you can Scald it. The sun is up. However, Excadrill can come in and take a KO on that Durulodon, which is scary for Brett. I like seeing the Rotom copter. We get the quadcopter Rotom. I wish we wish we got the electric flying type from Rotom, like a Rotom drone rather than Rotom fan. I think that would have been cooler, to be honest. Durulodon opting for Protect this turn, trying to keep itself safe from that high horsepower likely. Excadrill reading that and going for another Swords Dance, maybe picking up the KO, trying to pick up the KO on the Jellicent, maybe expecting the Strength Sap. And here comes a Brave Bird going onto that Jellicent, reading the Protect completely. And there's a little bit of KO. Will-O-Wisp coming in and is going to limit what that Excadrill can do. We'll see how that affects the rest of the game. The close, because of that Swords Dance, it's actually neutral now overall, which is still trouble for that Durulodon, especially because it's Life Orb. Both Pokemon on Zach's side are actually faster, so I'm wondering if he can pick up the KO with both Pokemon. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Maybe even an Earthquake might come, which would honestly kind of intrigue me overall. We're going to see a Protect off of Braviary to keep itself safe. And what's going to happen? High horsepower coming into the Durulodon, not going to pick up the KO quite yet. Draco Meteor going to protect itself from anything. Strength Sap coming in, doubling. Wow, Braviary, Zach's making all the right reads right now, as I think Brett's in a little bit of trouble after those two turns. It's going to be in a really, it's not in a great place overall. We're going to see how both Excadrill and Braviary what they can do against these two Pokemon. And honest, if Zach can get just a little bit more chip onto that Durulodon, then the Life Orb will actually take the KO rather than anything else. This Strength Sap is a scary thing to be using on both Pokemon here. And here's the Protect once again from the Durulodon. Pretty easy to project, as he doesn't want it to get KO'd, but high horsepower just in case. And Brave Bird is going to be coming in. And how much damage is this going to do? Not enough. Only it's hanging on of 17, but Brett opts to go for the Scald instead. But the Excadrill going to live on just a little bit. Our Air Balloon is going to pop. And let's see the leftovers. That leftovers coming back, but the Excadrill is still going. It's just barely hanging on. It's actually kind of crazy how much it's hanging on this game. Bulky Excadrill is nothing to mess with if you can get it going. You got a double Protect off of Durulodon, keeping it safe. And high horsepower misses, but likely that Brave Bird's coming in to take the KO with onto the Jellicent. Securing, meaning that likely Zach is going to secure game 2 for this finals. This is getting excited. We're about to get to game 3 here. Oh, wait, there is that Whimsicott in the back that I forgot about. Oh, that could shake things up quite a bit. Maybe that's what Brett was waiting for in all this time, which means that, ooh, that could be very scary for both Pokemon trainers. It's not, Brett's not quite down yet. That Tailwind could be the end. We'll see how this plays. I'm very interested to see how, I think if the Tailwind is what really shakes up this game, because Duraludon might be able to pick up a KO on either Pokemon this turn, and honestly, I don't like where if that Duraludon is holding Thunderbolt, then we're gonna be in a Moonblast going first. Actually, I was not expecting that. No, not enough. Ironhead securing the kill on the Whimsicott. Oh my goodness. And are we going to see the close combat coming from Draco Meteor actually missing the Braviary? That was probably the end of it. And the game goes to Zach with that Draco Meteor miss. Oh my goodness. That would have been the end for both members. Oh gosh. And we're going to be going to Game 3 here very soon. This is crazy. Most of our finals matches have been a pretty easy sweep. So, who knows what's going to happen with the matchup. No Vanillix. Oh, no, there was a Vanillix, but it was very well kept in the back. Just to keep it there. We're seeing that same combo. Kind of maybe Zach is learning the telegraph that Brett is kind of trying to put up, trying to deal with all of this. I'm surprised that Brett was able to keep that up that whole time. All right, this is the final round of Mid-Season Showdown. Careful, everyone. This is going to decide a lot in terms of what could happen this game. Oh, man. Brett is making his way to Worlds. If he gets a first here, he's going to be in a pretty good spot. Oh, man. I wish I was in this spot, honestly. I feel pretty good. And we're going to see Zach and Brett clash one more time, both using the sword version. I like that. I don't like the whole low cut of that Pincherin shirt. I wish it was like a little bit more of a t-shirt or something. There's a Vanillix choosing to go something different this time. Vanillix Whimsicott. This is the first time I've seen Brett do something different, and that is a great matchup against the Hydreigon. Oh my goodness. This change in pace is actually kind of scary for Zach. What that Blizzard going up is going to hit both Pokemon super effectively. Surprised what's going to happen. This turn is very, very vital. We're going to see a Dynamax immediately from Zach. What does he have in store in order to take down Pokemon like Vanillix? Since the Tailwind can come out pretty quick. And let's see what happens. Are we going to match Tailwinds here? Whimsicott used Tailwind, yep. And we're going to see matching Tailwinds likely from both teams. No, we're going to see a switcheroo, and forgetting Prankster does not work on Dark types. The Max Steel Spike is going to go right into that Whimsicott. It's going to go for the KO, as that is exactly what switcheroo does not work on that Hydreigon. And let's see how much this Blizzard does. It's going to hurt a lot on both sides. Oh gosh. And the Tailwind, the Focus Sash, but Zach has the speed advantage for this entire game now, as there are no Trick Room users on Brett's side. So this is going to be interesting. That Blizzard did not do as much as Brett wanted, I think. Max Steel Spike boosting the special defense. I know, regular defense. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very curious to see what Brett brings in response. Maybe Cinder Ace? Possibly? Excadrill is coming in for Zach. Quick side. Durulodon. And I think we're going to see another Dynamax off of Durulodon. However, I think we're going... the play that we're going to see is that we're going to see go in a double into the Vanillix. I think that's the bigger threat right now. Here comes the Dynamax, likely the Durulodon off of the just as normal. We'll see how well it can take any of these hits. Durulodon, very strong Pokemon. And let's see what it goes for. Protect on Vanillix. Did he read the double into Vanillix? And Iron Head predicting that. And what are we seeing from the Hydreigon? Max Quake actually going to go into the Durulodon instead. Oh no, actually the Vanillix going to get that special defense boost. Probably going to resist the Max Dragon coming in from the Durulodon actually. Maybe it might be able to survive because of that. Max Wormwind coming in. Holding on because of that Spadef boost. That is huge. One more turn. But the Max... We don't know if the Hydreigon is a special attacker or a physical attacker. I'm guessing it's a special attacker, but who knows? They're going to take a bit of damage from Hail all around, except for the Vanillix. An Excadrill here is okay because it's having that air balloon. Helps it a lot, but that -1 drop might be big for both Pokemon. It'll be interesting to see what happens. The Tailwind's still up though, which means that the speed advantage will go to Zach regardless. So I think the Max Quake coming in from Brett, going in for Brett is a little bit scary. Actually, it is a bit scary the fact that Max Quake is the choice that Hydreigon has. Max Ground and the special defense being a life orb, that special defense might get hit pretty hard. There's high horsepower. No, a miss off of that, but the Steel Spike is probably going to take out that Vanillix, so at least it's not getting blizzarded. However, that high horsepower miss is so big. Big damage missed on that from Durulodon. But the good thing is that they're able to get some damage. That chip is gone, and now that Max Dragon is going in. However, that the Swords Dance is still a factor in the fact that it can counteract the -2 from this Durulodon. I think there may be some turns left in Tailwind too, so we'll see. Speed advantage is still towards Zach, even though the the attack drop is there. Fortunate miss. And Rotom Heat is the last Pokemon in here on Zach's side. We'll see what the last Pokemon for Jellicent, Brett. Interesting matchup here. Could swing either way. Zach's gonna need a chance to do a lot of work to get around both. That Rotom can be a little bit scary. Overheat is an option, and all those electric attacks coming in for the Jellicent. So, and Strength Sap doesn't work too well. The Excadrill already at -2. So what could occur on this final battle? The Hydreigon was a good bet, but that high horsepower miss was so big. We're gonna see Swords Dance off of Excadrill. Can get it's a very defensive turn for Zach. Let's see if Brett had read the turn. Max Wormwind coming in to get that one more minus. It's gonna do very little to that Rotom. And that Excadrill is now only -1, which is big overall, I think. And we're likely gonna see a Scald and into the Rotom Heat. Good turn for Zach here. All right, we're seeing that, and the last turn of Dynamax is over for Durulodon. And here comes the leftovers, just to heal it back up against that Hail. Tailwind is petered out. So now we're at even speed tiers. Jellicent's slow. Durulodon probably not as fast as Excadrill, but slower, definitely faster than the Rotom Heat, which seems to be a little bit built slower. We'll see what Zach does. High horsepower again, another miss on high horsepower, which is so huge. That's probably the deciding factor. How much does this Draco do? And it's gonna pick up the KO. Unfortunate. This is the second high horsepower miss off of Excadrill, and nothing can be done. Unfortunately, and now here comes the Scald. Is that gonna finish up the game? Not quite. My goodness, it's unfortunate entirely for Zach. The game has pulled this victory away from him completely. It must be very disheartening to see the game trying to pull all these miss. High horsepower finally connects. Doesn't do enough on Jellicent, unfortunately. Dark Pulse coming out, gonna probably finish off the Excadrill. Not yet. Here comes the Scald. Finish it off. And that'll be it. Brett has won this mid-season showdown. Congratulations to Brett. For Zach is not completely lost. He still got 40 points from this for the CP for this tournament. A lot of RNG shenanigans, but overall it's a great tournament between the two, and a great tournament here at the Localhost PC. Thank you, Localhost, for hosting us today. I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you likely next week.